Hello everyone, welcome to a very quick RC-Junky video. I just want to go through a simple way that you can remove some of the wheel wobble or bearing wobble from most Tamiya cars. Now this certainly worked for the DT-03, which is what I have here. In no way is this video sponsored by RC Bearings. I'm just literally promoting them to say this is a good source for you to get your RC screws, bearings and various other components. So what the problem initially is this is a DT-03. Please exclude some of the parts being missing. So this is the wheel mounted. Now I have the different tyres on here, but this is the standard wheel mounted onto the car. And I don't know if you can see this. The wheel actually wobbles between the bearings because the actual bearings are the correct size, and these are the metal race bearings that fit in here. They are the 5x11x4s that replace the plastic or brass or bronze bearings that Tamiya provide. And what happens is when you put the wheel on, the nylock nut will actually go all the way down to the end of the shaft but still provide a space, and I shall show you that very quickly on this side. So here we have the standard hub, and I will get a wheel here and put in two standard 5x11 bearings by 4, so 4 being the width, 5 being the hole, 11 being the outer width. And I don't know if you can see, please excuse the hand, when this goes on you can still see the end of the shaft where the thread stops is still above the bearing. So what happens when you put the nylock on, the nylock will wind all the way down. Please excuse my hand in the camera, I've lost my tripod. I'm trying to have to do this by holding the camera in some jury rig kit I've got going here. So if I tighten this all the way down, now that nut won't go anymore. That's down. You can see that the thread is poking through the nylock here, so that's well seated. And we still have the wobble. Now, a very simple way to fix this problem is to say, if you go to RC Bearings, and I'm sure other suppliers sell them as well, but this is certainly where I got mine, you can get a 5x11x4x1 flanged bearing. And I'll just explain what that is while I try and get this bearing out of my wheel. So this is the standard bearing, 5x11x4, and this is a flanged bearing. As you can see, it has a 1mm flange on the back of the bearing. Now, if you place the flange bearing in the back of the wheel, what that will do is when it's on the shaft here, the flange will sit up against there and actually just provide a little bit of packing. So if I pop that in there, in the back of the wheel, put a standard bearing in the front, place that on the shaft, and you can see that, hopefully you can see, that bearing sits nearly completely level with the end of the thread. Hopefully this is all making sense and saying, please excuse the camera, it's a bit awkward to process this whilst holding and manipulating things. So I shall tighten this nut down. Again, that nut is all the way down. I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can, that the actual end of the thread is into the nylock, so that is well secured. It's not going to vibrate its way loose. And now the wheel spins freely and with zero wobble or movement. Now certainly if you race these or you intend to take part in a bit of club meeting, getting any kind of slop removed from these is a challenge. But hopefully that little trick, as you can see, the flange nut just sits in the back of the arm there, adds a little bit of packing so that you can have no movement in that wheel at all. And it still spins freely because the nylock is actually pressing down on the center collar of the bearing, the 5mm part. So just for a quick recap, this is before, spins freely, but we have this wobble. This is after, spins freely just as long as the other one, zero wobble. So say, hopefully you found that video helpful and beneficial. As I say, I got my bearings from here. I will post up a picture of what you need to buy. It's basically the 5x11x4x1 So we had the 5mm centre, the 11mm outside, the 4mm initial width, and the 1mm extra flange. And that will then give you the results that I've got here. Hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.